Today on the Trent Out Loud show. When Malcom Jamal-Warners passed away, I knew there's going to be conspiracies. I didn't think it was going to come from his boy, Eddie Griffin. Now, I don't know if everything Nicki Minaj is saying about Jay-Z is true, but I know that she is not letting up and she is keeping her foot on his neck. Shedeur Sanders has the best rating in the Cleveland Browns, but he's rated as the fourth string quarterback? Yo, release that man immediately. Stephen A. Smith started off his week dragging Michelle Obama for no reason, and now today he's dragging Kamala Harris. It's only Wednesday. I wonder which black woman he's going to drag next before the end of the week. Yeah, Stephen, I said it. What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. And to my Wednesday morningers, congratulations. We're halfway up the mountaintop. 2 days away from Friday, y'all. All right, I have a great show set up for y'all. I have two lead stories. We're going to kick it off by talking about Barack Obama could be facing serious jail time over the Russian hoax if Donald Trump has his way. Reports say Barack Obama is fearful but acting unbothered. Also, Diddy shares that he fears for his life in MDC, but he is also building up a tremendous amount of public support by sharing stories like that. In quick news, we're going to talk Malcom Jamal-Warners, Nicki Minaj, Jay-Z Roc Nation, Shedeur Sanders, Denzel Washington, Spike Lee, Nick Cannon, Gayle King, Shannon Sharpe, Delta Airlines, Stephen A. Smith, and Kamala Harris. As always, we're going to close out the show with social discussion of the day, question of the day, and a little bit of sports news. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Our first lead story. Breaking news, 20 CIA and FBI agents confirm that Barack Obama and former CIA director fabricated the Russia hoax, which was then locked away in a CIA vault for almost a decade to brainwash voters and discredit Trump's election by manipulating intelligence. Woo! Let's just jump to the video right away, and I'll tell you all about it.
There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't.
All right, let's drill down into some more details, all right? I have this from an insider. So, conspiracy by a sitting president to sabotage Donald Trump's run for office, brainwashing the people and undermining the election. The House has an intel report that was locked away for 10 years, and investigators spent 2,000 hours looking into these reports, and it turns out that Barack Obama doctored the reports to make it look like Putin and Trump stole the election. There are 4 things they say that Barack Obama tried to convince the people. Here are the 4 items. Putin wanted Trump to win. Putin took action to help Trump win. Russia had blackmail on Donald Trump. And the 4th thing is that the Russians tried to work with the Donald Trump campaign. Now, we all know why this is coming up at this time because of the Epstein files. However, when you have former FBI agents and former CIA agents testifying, saying these things are true, and investigators are coming up with proof and they're coming up with documents and they're finding these things, I think it is time to give it some more credit. And from the person who I spoke with on the inside, reports are that Barack Obama is completely acting unbothered, as we've seen him. I think it was like even last week when he actually addressed this and he said this is laughable. But from what I'm hearing, he is actually very nervous about this. Now, here's the thing. This is, if anything comes of this, it would be a federal charge and the statute of limitation would have expired anyway. So would have happened, they're alleging, while he was a sitting president, so 2015, 2016, right? From when Trump won the election from Hillary. Now, even though he can't get charged, there's still some other things that they're looking into that hasn't run the statute of limitations. So when the people out there who want Donald Trump to, expose Epstein and expose all of these things and drain the swamp, you have to have it both ways. Now, you guys have known from watching this podcast every day, I am a Barack Obama fan. I am a Michelle Obama fan. I do like them. However, I'm an independent and I'm always going to be on the side of what is right. And I'm always going to be on the side of exposing what is true. So I'm going to keep following this. And from what I'm hearing, there will be more things that come of this. I'm very interested to see what Barack Obama does next. Our second lead story. Diddy claims he's being fed maggots in jail, says feds out to break him despite acquittal. Diddy is calling out the foul conditions inside Brooklyn's MDC jail, where he has been held for nearly a year. Though he was acquitted last month on serious trafficking charges, he's still locked up under the Mann Act, and his legal team is demanding his release. In a letter to the judge, Diddy's lawyers wrote, hell-bent on punishing him for being a user of prostitution services in a more draconian manner than anybody in U.S. history, the government continues to target him unfairly. They claim MDC is falling apart. MDC routinely serves food that is expired and infested with maggots. Lockdown also remains common, the letter said. So we have been talking to you guys about Diddy all week. Of course, the judge has denied him bail, right? We talked about that yesterday. Why I wanted to bring this up is yesterday I really didn't focus too much on the actual jail conditions. I more wanted to focus on Gina and the reason why the judge was denying bail. I feel like we covered that and highlighted the fact that during bail, you can look at everything the prosecution is talking, but at sentencing, all that's going to go out the window, okay? And I really don't think that he's going to get the years that people think he's going to, even though the judge is being tough on bail. Bail is extremely different from sentencing. And he even said that in the letter. People missed that sentence, but go back and listen to yesterday's podcast. I'll break that down. Today, why I wanted to talk about the jail conditions is this is yet another method that Diddy's team is using to gain public interest and public support. I keep telling you guys this and it keeps going over y'all heads. Diddy's team, yes, would love for him to get out on bail, but they also know it's an uphill battle. I mean, they've tried 5 or 6 times, but regardless if he gets denied, it keeps building public momentum. It keeps on building pressure for Donald Trump, even though he said he's probably not going to do it. It builds up pressure for Donald Trump to give him a pardon. And eventually when Diddy gets out, I mean, he's going to get out at some point, whether it's 2 months, or whether it's 6 months, he's getting out soon. Okay. And when he gets out, he's going to have to reintroduce himself to the public. He has lost close to $500 million and Diddy's going to make his money back. But over the past 30 years, you've seen Diddy go through ups and downs and he always ends up back on top. I think this is going to be no different. And if they keep on holding him down and they keep on not giving him bail and you keep on hearing conditions like this and you keep on hearing, it's going to build up more and more public support and public momentum. A lot of you don't think that, but I wanted to show you just 3 screenshots of a comment section off of one blog, okay? Just listen to this. So first comment is, so when he's eventually free in a couple of months, 2 months, he won't be dangerous then? Next person, but Carl Wittenhouse was just fine to walk free and play Batman? At this point, it's unfair. Generally, he was not convicted of anything dangerous. He's charged with hiring prostitutes. He's a danger to whom? Like Diddy or dislike Diddy, the justice system should be fair to all regardless of the judge's personal opinion. How is he too dangerous to walk free when he's only been found guilty of prostitution? Duh, after listening to the character witnesses and seeing his violent history, there's no way he would be given bail. That was 6 comments before we found one that agreed with the judge, but let me continue. Next person said, that judge don't play. Next person said, people are rooting for his unfair treatment. Remember, it can soon be you or your relative. He was convicted of buying prostitutes, not anything else. Clear indication that Diddy is about to get some serious time from this judge. And no, that's not a clear indication, but we already talked about that. A danger to prostitutes or his exes. This judge clearly don't agree with the jury. They playing in his face now. At this point, Diddy needs to file a complaint with the ethics committee against this judge. And the last comment, just remember that some people have unalived people, SA'd people, taken people, and was able to get bail. Teachable moments that even your wealth don't change your complexion or how they view you at the end of the day. Now, I know a lot of you out there are not Diddy fans, and I'm not saying I'm a Diddy fan or not, but since I've been covering this trial every day, I've been telling you guys that I feel like Diddy should get bail. You have to take your emotions away from the person. You have to take your emotions from the CNN video, and you have to take your emotions and your feelings out of it. Diddy was tried by a jury of his peers, 12 people, and they unanimously found him not guilty for RICO. They unanimously found him not guilty for SEX trafficking, forced fraud and coercion for Cassie and Jane. He is sitting in jail right now because he hired a prostitute from Philly and brought them to New York. That's it. You're no longer allowed to say, well, this person said this in this text message. No, the jury spoke. And I have said this since the day the judge made the decision. I'll show you guys right here. The cover of my live that I did says, Diddy staying in jail. Feds are sore losers. They won't let him out. And again, here is the actual picture. There's me in front of the courthouse. Diddy staying in jail. Feds can't accept defeat. They're sore losers. Look, you have to, I like that last comment where somebody was like, wait till it's your relatives or wait till it's somebody who you know. Again, at the end of the day, he has been charged under the Mann Act. I don't think that he should be rejected bail for that. And if you go by what the defense and even the prosecution is saying, and you look at case studies, October the 3rd, and I'll be there in that room, he should get off on time served. Again, take your opinions out of it. But I get back to the main point of this segment is the longer they keep Diddy in jail, the longer they keep showing these MDC conditions, the more the momentum is going to build up for Diddy, and Diddy's team knows this. You keep him in jail for 3-4 years, he's just going to come out and be bigger than ever. Mark my word. My evidence is the comments that I just sent you. And these weren't comments I picked. This was just in a row. And I read 15 of them. And there's at least, I would say, 11 or 12 that are in support of letting him out of bail, letting him out on bail. Could you imagine if the judge keeps him, after October the 3rd? It'll be crazy. Anyways, we'll see what happens, but I'm telling you I'm right. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. Our first quick story. Comedian Eddie Griffin says he doesn't believe Malcom Jamal-Warners drowned, but questions why would anybody want him unalived? It's too suspicious. There are too many stories. Take a listen to Eddie.
I don't believe that man drowned. I don't. But it ain't gonna fix it. It's too suspicious. They had too many different stories. Him and his daughter was out there swimming early in the morning. How come the mama wasn't there? That's number one. Number two, just so happens to be a doctor on the beach. And then his daughter was not in the water. She was on the beach watching her father swim.
Now, I remember when I was reporting this, I was like, somebody's going to come up with, hey, this is this person and somebody wanted him this. Like, that's what happens every time something like this happens. And I will say one of the things he said did have me thinking that there has been a couple of different reports, one that his daughter was with him, one that there wasn't. So there might be some legs to this. I don't know. But I just hate the fact that anytime something happens, nothing could be an accident anymore, and everything has to be a suspicion or a conspiracy. I don't know, but we'll see. Our second quick story. Nicki Minaj says she is the most genuine child of God after weeks of slamming Roc Nation and others. Nicki Minaj may have been on a social media rampage in recent weeks talking about SZA, Roc Nation, Jay-Z, and even Des Bryant, though it hasn't stopped her from being simply petty. The rapper uploaded a new video to Twitter showing off her suave blonde new bob. In the caption, she wrote, me looking at the smartest, richest, most talented, pretty, most influential, intuitive, unintimidating, blessed, highly favored, and most genuine child of God. Jeez, that's a lot. This is Nicki Minaj just flaunting because she is really starting to be a thorn in the side of Jay-Z and Roc Nation. They don't want to come out and admit it, but insiders are saying that she is really starting to ruffle a lot of feathers. I've told you guys this for the past couple of weeks, that there's been a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people, kind of stirring up, talking about Des Bryant, not Des Bryant. What's the Roc Nation CEO again? Can't remember her name. Anyways, somebody in the comment section tell me. Anyways, the CEO and Jay-Z, because the CEO's daughter is suing her own mother and she's trying to get her in a hospital. Anyways, there's a lot going on. Jay-Z has been working overtime for the past 6 months since the Tony Busby case to try to keep the temperature low. And with somebody like Nicki Minaj as a huge public figure like this, she's putting a lot of pressure on Jay-Z. So we'll see if maybe something pops. From what I've heard, this tweet is not just a tweet, it's her gloating, and she actually got Jay-Z with something behind the scenes. We'll see if it comes and is made public in the days ahead. Stay tuned. Our third quick story. Browns list Shedeur Sanders as the 4th quarterback on the depth chart. Shedeur Sanders is listed as the 4th string quarterback on the Browns list. Okay. Now, Joe Flacco is number 1, which is no surprise. But what the real surprise is they have a QB tracker, okay? And this is the combined training camp stats through 9 practices. Flacco has 54 catches on 92 attempts. Sanders has 49 on 70. And 6 touchdowns. Flacco has 3 touchdowns. Gabriel has 62 on 113 with 4 TDs. And Pinkett has 23 on 34 and 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. And Gabriel has 2 interceptions. Basically, I might be dyslexic and hard to not great at reading numbers, but I could do math really well. And he has the best rating of all the 4 players. So why is he listed number 4? I've been trying to give the Cleveland Browns grace. Shedeur has said, give them grace. Shedeur said, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to do the work. I'm happy to put in the time. Thank you for this opportunity. And I love that. He's not going in there acting all big and bad. But this, like Jay-Z says, man, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. I'm not happy. All right, our 4th quick story. Water drinkers only. What are y'all grabbing? All right, if you guys cannot see this, if you're just listening, there's a bunch of bottle of waters here by like a pool, which is kind of odd. But Fiji, Voss, Evian, Aquafina, DeSanti, Poland Springs. Which are y'all grabbing? this should be question of the day, but hey, we kind of threw it in here accidentally. Another person, so one person said Dasani all day. Dasani is made by Coke. Ugh. Another person said Aqua Pena. Another person said Smart Water, Fiji, the pool water. Somebody says, where is Saratoga? Good question. Aaron Hall. Essentials, Costco Kirkland. Essentials, Iceland, Panda. The ice one. Yo, if you ask me, because I don't have a lot of time to keep going through this. Hold on. Somebody said Iceland. Every time I drink this at the airport after the weekend of debauchery, it's top tier. It's hilarious. Yo, my New Yorkers out there, y'all know Poland Springs is hands down probably the best water. Simple as that. Now, I do like the Fiji bottle, and I do feel a little like bougie when I drink it, but if it's like the middle of the day, I want to quench my thirst, I'm reaching for the Poland Spring. And that's my vote. Our fifth quick story. We're drinking so much matcha that we're running out. According to Forbes, the matcha market is expected to hit around $5 billion by 2028. However, the crop is heavily dependent on weather patterns, and small farmers are unsure if they could keep up with demand. Back in October 2024, two of the major matcha companies limited or stopped selling certain kinds of matcha due to shortage of supply. Now, I am new to this whole matcha drink. A girl told me about it, and I had one I think it was one day when I was hungover or something. I don't remember what I was doing. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody told me that matcha. I had it, and I felt better for around 5 minutes, and then it was all downhill. But it did taste really good. I had no idea this was like a thing that you can't just replicate. I didn't know it had to come from a certain place and made. I am new to this whole matcha world. This makes me want to try it again. Not hungover, but I am shocked by this. Matcha hitting $5 billion 2028. I am just late to the game. Shout out to the girl who recommended it to me, though. Keep me up on game, you know? Our sixth quick story. The first trailer for Spike Lee's Highest to Lowest, starring Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, and Ice Spice, has released. Okay, this film follows a music mogul whose empire is shaking when he must make a devastating moral choice. Okay, I can't play the trailer for you, obviously, for copyright reasons. The trailer looks okay. I mean, it's Denzel Washington, Spike Lee. I did hear that A$AP Rocky is really good in it, though. A lot of people are like, A$AP, we didn't know A$AP could act, but I heard that he's really good. And I'm going to go see it. Y'all know I haven't been to the theaters in a minute, but y'all know I'm supporting Denzel, one of my favorite actors, Spike Lee. I'm going to the theater to see this. Simple. It does look a little bit like they were trying too hard. It looks like, we love to see Denzel in a character like this. It's almost like a, Training Day-esque where he's, in that black role. But And then you add Spike Lee, but just if you see the trailer, it just looks like they were trying a little too hard, where Training Day was kind of just more natural. But I'm going to go see it regardless. Our seventh quick story. Nick Cannon says he doesn't want his daughters to grow up and date people like their dad. Take a listen.
Right my wrongs in that sense of where hopefully my daughters learn from my mistakes and not date people like their dad.
Now, listen, I do not have kids, which most of you guys know. But one day, if God ever does bless me with the blessing of having children, I will pray that my daughters bring home a man just like me. All right. And yes, I know I don't have, I haven't fathered 12 kids with 5 or 6 different women like Nick, but I've had a lot of fun in my life. All right. For those of you who have read my second book, but I don't think that should change the type of man that you are. You know what I mean? I always live my life as if anybody could be watching it. And have I made mistakes? Yes. But that doesn't mean I don't want my daughter to bring home somebody like me, or my niece. I would love for my niece to bring home somebody like me. So I think the lesson here is you should always be living your life and making the choices as if your mom, your dad, your family, your future children can look at, and that are watching. That's how I've always wanted to live my life. So I have no shame in my game. I have said everything in my books, and I would love for my daughters to bring somebody like me. Nick saying that shows me more about him and his choices than just a normal dad saying, I don't want my daughters to bring home somebody like me. Nah, man. I'd be honored. Our 8th quick story. All right, Donald Trump has this to say about Gayle King. Gayle King's career is over. She should have stayed with her belief in Trump. She never had the courage to do so. No talent, no ratings, no strength. Donald took to Truth Social with some remarks about Gayle King, saying her career is over. This comes after a report by the New York Post labeling Gayle King's future with NBC as murky. Okay, so what Donald Trump is doing right now is anybody that has poor ratings, they're like, oh my gosh, she's horrible, it's over, blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, television is going through a change. Stephen Colbert, etc., morning shows. More and more people are staying over on social media, Apple, etc. That's why TV is failing. It's not necessarily Gayle King. It's just TV ratings in general is down, and these networks are trying to figure out what to do. And somebody like Gayle King and Stephen Colbert come with a high price tag. So of course they're going to be the first to let go. But Trump is just like, well, yeah, because you're against me, that's why your ratings are horrible. Bro, we're not stupid. Our 9th quick story. Luenell calls Shannon Sharpe unattractive amid his firing from ESPN. You have to admire his body because he wears tight clothes. So obviously tight, it's a little sus. All right, I wanted to play this for you. Actually, let me just play the video and tell you after why. Take a listen.
Shannon Sharpe, we tried to get on your show. When he was popular, he didn't want me. Back then, they didn't want me. Now he's losing, and he's all up on me. Want me to do the show. I'm not doing it, Shannon.
Oh. All right, so the past couple of weeks that we've been talking about Shannon Sharpe and his lawsuit that he allegedly paid $23 million to Jane Doe, getting fired from ESPN. The question is will Shannon Sharpe be able to come back to the level where he was with Club Shay Shay on his YouTube channel and Nightcap? I have said that I don't think he'll ever be able to come to those levels because Shannon Sharpe is not a personality like how, for example, Stephen A. Smith is, where he could sit down for an hour and talk to the camera. Shannon Sharpe needs guests. You tuned in for the interviews, not necessarily Shannon Sharpe. And here's an example of Luenell saying, oh, now you want me? Before you didn't? Nah, I'm not coming on your show. This is just a small example to prove my case of people, A, that he didn't want on before or was maybe ignoring. Now they're going to be like, oh, now you want me? And B, there's going to be people who are just going to shy away from him because of all the negativity. We'll see. Nightcap seems to be doing okay, but $23 million to Jane Doe, the Usher concert girl, she's suing him for $20 million. Who knows how much it's going to settle for? Having a Nightcap show, it's not going to be enough, Shannon. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm not rooting against him because y'all know I like Shannon, but I think I'm right, y'all. Our 10th quick story. Detroit woman is coming for all the coins, seeking $75 million from Delta Airlines, surviving wild plane crash in Toronto that flipped the jet upside down. A Detroit flight attendant, Vanessa Miles, is suing Delta Airlines after the Delta Connection flight she was on crashed and caught on fire, landing at the Toronto International Airport February 17, 2025. I'm sure y'all remember this. The plane, operated by Delta's subsidiary Endeavour Air, rolled and flipped, injuring Miles, who was a passenger. She suffered a fractured shoulder, knee, and back injury, traumatic brain injury, and post-concussion symptoms. The lawsuit, filed in Michigan United States District Court, claims Delta prioritized profits over safety by employing an inexperienced and inadequate trained pilot, leading to the crash. A preliminary investigation found a fractured landing gear caused the plane to roll, with the wing detaching and igniting jet fuel. All 80 passengers survived, but 21 were hospitalized. Delta denies claims of inadequate training, stating that the pilot had been with a predecessor company since 2007. Miles seeks at least $75 million in compensation. The Transportation Safety Board of Canada is still investigating. Okay, I'm so happy to hear about this. If y'all remember, Delta offered everyone that was on that plane $30,000. And I remember talking about that with you guys, and I was like, 30 G's for a plane rolling and landing upside down and the wings falling off? Bro, you better come up with 30 mil to start. What are you talking about, 30,000? Happy to hear that this flight attendant, who was a passenger at the time, is suing. And y'all know how that goes. It's just going to be a domino effect, and more people should be suing Delta. Our 11th quick story. Stephen A. Smith claims Kamala Harris doesn't have a snowball chance in hell at becoming president in 2028. Okay, I gotta come up with a nickname like Stephen, how can I go viral today, Smith? Like, this is like crazy now, man. Stephen A. Smith says he doesn't think Kamala Harris has a chance at running for, at becoming president in 2028. Okay, I'm gonna play the video for you guys in a second, but he's talking about Kamala Harris's book, okay? I've told you guys about this, I think 2 days in a row now. Her name of her book is 107 Days, and it's kind of like her journal of what happened in the past, and what happened in the 107 days that she was running for her presidency. And I just generally, to me, this is how you report on a story. Hey, Kamala Harris is coming out with a book. And in the book, she hasn't really said to me, or even when she was on the Stephen Colbert show, or to people in her press, like what the book is all about. Is it juicy? Is it not? Is she going to be dragging Joe Biden? Is she going to be telling us the truth? So her press release is, I'm going to tell you about my journey. And I'm like, oh, this sounds boring. So my reporting is, I'm talking about the book. Did you hear me say anything about her presidency? But Stephen A. Smith now is like, oh, Kamala Harris is coming out with a book. Yo, she has no chance of running for presidency. She doesn't have a snowball chance in hell. Excuse me, sir. She just said 2 days ago, I don't want to go back into office. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I think the system is broken. Why does Stephen A. Smith always just have to go left and try to just talk about people and drag people down just so that he can have a viral clip? Anyway, serious.
Because I hope y'all don't think for 1 second that she's got a chance to win in 2028. She doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. There is no way America will pick Kamala as a Democratic nominee for the presidency of the United States in 2028. It won't happen.
All right, it's Wednesday. I guarantee you by Friday, there'll be another person that he drags down. Let's see if it's a black woman again. All right, so this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, before you get into social discussions, I have a very important question for y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for you. Yes, they are. If you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, just go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud, to get a free 14-day trial to find out if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor to my family, friends, and the Out Louders. Or it takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information, credit card, banking, social security information off of these bad sites and keeping it off. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. You get real-time fraud alerts if any of your credit card or banking information is found on the dark web. They give you a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based support system and 24/7 customer service. If anything goes wrong, Aura also offers a $5 million identity theft protection, so you're protected no matter what you do. Click the link below, or also put up the QR code. Take out your phones and scan that. It is free for 14 days, or it will show you what they could do. It's up to you if you want to continue after the free 14-day trial, but try them out. Okay, let me get to the social discussion. I'm really excited about this one because I have a perspective that I think that you guys probably are going to be surprised. So, man ends a 15-year marriage after wife goes viral with video about what she won't do as a wife, including cooking for her husband. She says, my husband is mad because I refused to cook him breakfast this morning. I cooked for me and my daughter only. You're grown, do it yourself. Take a listen.
My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street, or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry.
My husband decided to drain our joint bank account and leave me after so much controversy on my videos. So on my main page, I made a video about how I didn't want to cook breakfast for my husband because I didn't want to go out of my way from making scrambled eggs to making a fried egg for him. And I said that he could do it himself. I don't cook for my husband. I never have, and I'm not going to be starting today. I'm sorry. I guess he got, wind of the videos, and yeah, he drained our bank account, and he has told me that I have to leave.
All right, let's get into this. Okay, y'all know me already. When it comes to relationships, I'm old-fashioned. I like being the alpha male in a relationship. I like being the leader, the provider, the protector, while having my wife or my girl or my partner be in the more supportive way. I like to be loved. I like to be nurtured, right? To me, it's yin and yang, and that's what I like. Now, here's the difference. You cannot meet a girl and say, I kind of like her for whatever reasons, but she doesn't have the attributes that I like, marry her anyways, and then 15 years later be like, all right, you know what? I'm done with this. Like, you got to meet somebody and lay the groundwork. Hey, I want a supportive woman that does this. I like this. I like that. And she was honest. If you hear it in the video, she said, I told them the day we got married, which is probably before they got married, hey, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing any of this. And that's her choice. If she doesn't want to be in that type of relationship, then that's her prerogative. And if she meets a man and tells him that, and then he agrees with that, then she should never cook for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that should be said out in the beginning. Let me tell you what is going on and why he's leaving. He's not leaving because she's not cooking. He's leaving because he's embarrassed because she's making a video saying that she's not cooking. Exactly. That's him being a bitch in his feelings because he doesn't want people out there to think that he's soft or think that he is in this kind of situation. Bro, man up. If you are in a situation and you are okay with your woman not cooking, you're okay with these things, who cares what people outside are going to think? Like, who cares? You are okay with this, and you should not be divorcing your wife for doing and showing people on a video things that you agreed with. But I could have told you from the beginning that this guy ain't a real man anyway, so you shouldn't be surprised. Anyways, social discussion, join in below. Do you think that this man or some so-called man has the right or is in the right to be divorcing his woman after 15 years after she told him from the beginning that is not the type of woman she is? People, I'm telling you, at the beginning of the relationship or when the relationship gets a little serious, find the person who you want to spend the rest of your life with the attributes. Stop just focusing on the looks or have a trophy wife or a trophy guy or these material things. You got to find somebody that's going to support the type of person who you are. That's why people get divorced, man. But don't listen to me because I'm single. So what do I know? All right, y'all. That is it for me. Question of the day was actually in quick news. Okay, the bottle of DeSantis. So that, not the bottle of DeSantis, the bottle of water. That was our question of the day. All right. So comment below on that. And that's it. That's it. The show is wrapped up. Thank you so much for kicking it with me. Thank you, Aura, for sponsoring the social discussion of the day. And before I let you guys go, I just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trend Out Loud show. For those of you who are used to watching the show on YouTube, if you're ever going in the car, you're ever going on a plane, you're going somewhere where you don't have internet, have no fear because the show is available on all podcast platforms. And on these platforms, you can download the show and take us with you, all right? Head to any podcast site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily. Now, vice versa, for those of you who are used to just watching or listening to the show on podcast platforms, thank you so much for your support. However, we want you to come over and hang out and watch the show on YouTube. That's where the Out Louders are. The comment section is lit. Come on over here, okay? Head on over to YouTube, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to comment. And if you're really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it definitely helps in growing the channel. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, we also have a blog page on Instagram called The Trend Out Loud Show, where we'll post some stories before we record the show and after. It's just a way to kind of keep up and let you guys know what we will be discussing on the actual show. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you once again for kicking with me. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.